here. To start out, we're going to actually start with a prayer, and Tanner is going to provide that, and then we'll go through the rest of the kind of the agenda for the class.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee at this time, we're grateful for the opportunity which we have to be gathered here today, to learn and to be instructed. We pray, Father, that as we are here, that we might each seek to become better and learn more, that we may further ourselves and learn how to become more marketable as students here at the business school. We love You, Father, and pray for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. So how many of you are new to the business program? I'm hoping, okay. So there's no senior that waited until their last semester to take this class. Okay, good. From our perspective, this class is a really important one. It's a foundational course that will hopefully give you the basis to start developing your career plan. And we'll talk a little more about it today. We're going to go, and the other thing that we're doing, and this is to your benefit, there's two courses, right? The 320 and the 321. One's the mentoring and one's the career development. We're combining that so that you actually accomplish both of those courses in the one class before you have to take separate classes. Next year, we'll hopefully actually get that to be truly one class. Today we're going to go through the bridge. Has anybody heard about the bridge? Okay, hopefully by the end of today, and then especially by the end of this class, this fall, you're going to be really well versed in it. It's going to be an important tool for you. So we're going to go through the bridge. We're going to go through the mentoring database and how you link into that. And we'll also talk a little bit more about what we're trying to accomplish here in this class. To start out, I'd like to introduce myself and then members of my staff that you'll be working with. So my name is Mike Roberts. I'm the Assistant Dean and the Director of the Business Career Center. I've been here about 9 months. My background, I started out here as a finance major, went to work at May Company in retail in women's apparel, which was a great experience. Learned a lot, and then went back to graduate school and went to work for Hewlett Packard. I started out in finance, was in marketing. I was one of the original product managers on the inkjet printing. So I'm assuming many of you have used an inkjet HP printer sometime in your life, and I was part of that. They went from where we were dreaming about a business to about a $30 billion business, highly profitable. Throughout my career, I was in marketing, corporate strategy, operations, and when I ended my career, I was vice president of marketing and business development for emerging markets. We had 60 countries around the world that we managed. So, and then I retired, and I'm here. And this has been really a great experience to be at BYU and to be able to kind of give back and work with students like yourself. I'm going to take a minute now to have, we'll start with Bill. Let's see, Eric. I think that's it right now. And the other thing, we're in the process of hiring a new person for marketing. And so I am the marketing contact for you guys. And then hopefully about a month we'll have somebody on our staff that will be focused on the marketing department, and we'll transition over to that person. Bill, you want to give some background?
Hi, my name is Bill Keenan. I work with OBHR, strategy, and entrepreneurship students. So I work in the Career Center with Mike. So I am the Director of Placement. And I am a BYU undergrad. I was an English grad, and then I went into consulting at Bain for a few years. And then I've primarily done high-tech things, and we've lived in Austin, Texas, most recently in the Bay Area. And then a couple years ago, we moved here. And I joined the center just a few months ago, so this is my first fall. And just a couple, one piece of advice is, as I was going through school here, as an English major, I was planning to go to law school, and so I talked to some folks, some lawyers, and changed paths. So I recommend talking to people about careers that you're thinking about considering. And then the other thing is I think I can be helpful with is I've lived in a number of places. I've worked in a number of companies of different sizes, so I can help you kind of think through that. As well as I've done a number of functional things from strategy to product marketing to management. So as you have questions around a path you want to take. So I'm looking forward to this semester.
Good morning, I'm Eric Doman. I work with mainly supply chain students, both MBAs and undergrads. I also work with all the general business students. And so the reason I'm in that is because I have a pretty broad background. It was a long time ago I was in your position, but I started in the accounting program. I didn't want to be an accountant, which may sound odd, but I wanted to learn the science of business, but I didn't want to be an accountant. I knew I wanted to get an MBA degree. And so, again, back in the Jurassic period when I was a student here, I was able to, rather than have a major, I had 4 minors. So I ended up with a minor in accounting, a minor in business management, a minor in psychology, and a minor in communications. I was interested in what motivated people to buy. And so I wanted to know what the message was and then how to kind of get in their minds to get them to buy the product, and then the science of the business of how to make it profitable. So my MBA is in consumer industrial marketing from BYU. I went to work for a division of General Mills in Chicago after finishing my MBA. I was in marketing. Was doing that for a couple of years. And one day they came in and said, "You're now in charge of transportation. Your office is in the warehouse. Good luck." And that's how I got moved over to supply chain. And it turned out being, as I say, the best career move I never planned. I ended up in a totally different field than I trained in. I was not qualified for the job, probably shouldn't have been given the job. But because I didn't know any better way to do it, I had to ask lots of questions. I gradually learned and found I had a skill set I didn't realize I had. So I spent the next 30 years in supply chain and improving processes in corporations, driving out waste, and finding more effective ways to do things. So it's a very transferable skill set of improving processes. As you look around you in the world, everything exists mainly because of supply chain. All the things in this room came through supply chain somehow to get here. Whether it's the padding inside the seat that had to meet all kinds of regulations and everything else. Everything around you has some sort of supply chain background. As the American economy evolves, we're getting more and more service supply chains. When you look at consulting and healthcare, tech industries, a lot of things where, not printers, but a lot of software and those type of things, it's a non-tangible. And so how you manage those supply chains effectively, drive out waste and cost. So that was my background. I moved around a fair bit. We spent 14 years in Chicago, 14 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so I've shoveled a fair bit of snow. Ended up at BYU by accident. We had a son that graduated from here, and I came home from work one night. My wife said, "Oh, here's a job even you could do." I said, "Yeah, fine, what's for dinner?" And she said, "It's due tonight." And so I ended up applying for a job at BYU, and then it went from there. So I retired from industry as well. I've worked both in public and private, large and small, domestic and overseas. So I went to work, as I said, General Mills in Chicago. I ended up working in a cake decorating company, bizarre as that sounds. I can do a triple star with the best of them. And the executive VP was right next to me doing them too. I've also worked in the collectibles industry. I did consulting work in southern Japan for 2 years for retailing. The last company I worked at was a company that makes motors. It's called Harley-Davidson. So I spent 15 years there running supply chain, everything except for the motorcycle. So the clothing, the apparel, I can tell you more about leather jackets you'd ever want to know. The reason I give you that background is so that if you're trying to figure out the path to go, I can probably give you pros and cons of each, because I had to figure them out as well. And I ended up in a path I hadn't intended to. And so sometimes your path may go where you didn't intend. And some doors may slam shut and push you through a different direction that you didn't really plan on. If you're open to some of those opportunities, you can find, sometimes you can find even a better path you might have thought of. I'm in 441 Tanner, happy to talk.
I'm Laura Pingree. You probably know my name from all the emails that you've gotten from me. But I just wanted to introduce myself to all of you. I'm your academic advisor, so I'm in charge of helping you do grad plans, figure out class schedules, etc. So I don't do career placement, but we just want to make the distinction so that if you have questions about those things, then I can help you with those. Thanks.
So just so you know, so when you come into the Tanner building, on the right is the Business Career Center. The Advisory Center is on the left. We work closely together, but there are 2 centers. We get a lot of students coming into our center because it looks like kind of the main the help desk, but we'll do whatever we can to help you. The first question I want to ask you guys is, why are you at BYU? What are you trying to accomplish? Comments? Get a degree?
Learn how to be successful.
Learn how to be successful. To me, one of the most important things, to me the degree is an enabler. What you're trying to do is prepare yourself to be successful in life. And that's to be able, one element of that is a career. And I think a lot of times you get into the coursework, you start working, and maybe you start to forget what you're really trying to accomplish. And when you get into your last semester of your senior year, you say, oh, I probably need a job. And that's probably the wrong time to ask that question. And it should be right now, you should be asking that question of what you want to accomplish, at least where you want to go in that starting point of your career. And it's not the end all. I mean, if you ask any of us that have been up here, our career has gone in lots of different directions and ended up in places that we never had anticipated. But the key is being able to have that in mind as part of your graduation. Let me just show you some stats that hopefully will get you a little more excited about what's going on here at the business school. So, does anybody know what our placement number? Okay, so what we look at is we look at total enrollment, and then for those who are, quote, seeking. I mean, there's some people that say, hey, I'm not looking for a job at all. I'm going to go to graduate school or something else. So for those that are seeking, what do you think the percentage, our placement percentage for last year were? And the guys in the external relations can't say anything.
92.
It's 92%, which actually puts us up in the top, and that's across the board. Let me make sure. Oops. So it's 92%. Schools like Notre Dame, 89% for undergrad. The top MBA programs are around the 90% on average. But this is across undergrad and graduate school. And what I've established since I've been here is I have what's called the 90+ placement goal. So our goal is to be able to sustain 90% or more placement. We'd love to have 100%. I hate to say there's a few students out there that are not that motivated, but hopefully we can get you all motivated and we can achieve 100%. But we're really shooting for 90%, which again is great, and it's well recognized across kind of this industry. So, you know, we've jumped up this year, but let me just kind of show you across the various areas. Marketing had a great year. They hit 95%. You can see the light blue is offers and the dark blue is acceptance. And you know, our lowest one is entrepreneurship, but that's a lot of the students are looking at doing other things, starting, you know, their own companies. So that's a little lower than the other areas, but we're doing, I think, a really great job of building the skill sets you guys need to have so that you can present yourselves to these companies and get the kind of offers you're looking at. So how many companies hired BYU students or the Marriott School students last year? How many companies do you think it would take?
1,000.
1,000? Wow. That means every student had their own company. That's a little high.
220.
220. A little low. So not 1,000, 220, not 220. 4 what? 4, okay, just a little lower than that. So it's 376 companies. I mean, and there's more that actually probably posted jobs, but 376 companies hired at least one student from the Marriott School last year. Okay. So it's a good population of companies. So you can see all the brands. I mean, we have the top tier branded companies coming to our campus looking for our students. We are, for example, Goldman Sachs, we're the #1 university for them. And they're an outstanding company, outstanding brand. HP, where I came from, we do really well there. I mean, we place in high tech, we place in all kinds of industries. This is something that you need to get really familiar with because you need to start to think about what industry, what company that you would be interested in. And most likely, we have them coming to campus. If they're not coming to campus, we can work to see how we can get you connected to those companies. And then maybe you can be the pioneer that goes to that company and becomes the starting alumni base that we can build off of. Because we do utilize the alumni base that goes to these companies. I mean, Amazon is a great example. We rely on that a lot to get our opportunities, to find the opportunities in that company is through our alumni there. But a lot of these companies actually come to campus and do a formal kind of recruiting process. So this is what it kind of looks like, the top 30. The accounting firms really take a high percentage of our students, our accounting students. But this gives you a kind of a feel for what it looks like. What we're doing in your behalf in our center is we're really taking a lot of time to analyze what companies are coming to our campus. We want to try to figure out how do we continue to maintain these good brands, but also how do we start to build relationships with new companies so that we can anticipate some of the needs that you guys will have going forward. But this is what it's all about. It's preparing you guys from a career perspective and then attracting the great branded companies to come here and hire. But our job is really quite easy because they love you guys. You guys come across great. I hate to say it, we sometimes refer to you as a product from a marketing perspective. And you guys are great. You have the skills, you have the background and the experience. And as a new kind of fresh group, we look forward to working with you. But the key is work with us. Okay? We really do want to see your faces in the center. If you're not there, we're still looking at you. Each one of the members of my staff will have you on boards and in their system, and they'll be tracking you and trying to figure out how to help you move your career forward. We take a lot of ownership for you as students in helping you get there. But you guys have to get in there and you have to work with us so that we can kind of maximize the opportunity. Okay? So I know there's going to be a handful of students that we'll never see. Hopefully, they're able to find jobs on their own. That's great. But we'd love to be able to help you however we can. And in some cases, it's just some minor questions, tweaking. And in other cases, it's maybe deeper conversations about really what you want to do in life. Kind of like Bill. He started down one path and ended up in another direction, same as Eric. And we're willing to spend the time. Also, as we roll into the next section about the bridge, get to know the bridge. So how many of you have LinkedIn accounts now? Okay, that's great. We're going to have a little session on that in one of our future classes. So look at the bridge as the equivalent to LinkedIn. It's the same thing. It's the ability to build a profile. There's companies, the companies that come here to recruit are on the bridge. You'll be able to see that as you build out your profile, and Robert will be able to show you your profile and your work that you do on the bridge will help the bridge work for you also. So that's really critical that you get in there. We do a lot of our scheduling now through the bridge. You'll be able to see all the info sessions, all the interviews. Also, when you come into our office, we can bring up your account, and that will allow us to see what you've been doing, help it kind of identify gaps. So if you're not getting out to info sessions, or if you've never done a mock interview, you don't have an updated resume, those are things that are going to prevent you from achieving your goal. So again, the bridge is really going to be critical. And that kind of transitions to Robert, who's going to kind of give an overview on how to get in there and start setting that up. Okay.
said, now that you are part of the Marriott School, it's a great time to start thinking about internships and job opportunities. You don't want to be that guy that, when you graduate your senior year and are stuck with nothing. And the bridge is really how you do that. So by raise of hands, yeah, how many have heard of the bridge before? Okay, fair amount. So who could maybe explain briefly what the bridge is? You guys know? Yeah.
It's kind of what replaced the online recruiting a little while back. It's a place where employers can come in and kind of scope out BYU students. You can upload your resume and I think even cover letters and different things about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be the platform for all of your recruiting needs. So you can get there by going to bridge.byu.edu and it will take you to this page here. And then what you'll want to do is just click on Student and Alumni and you'll see that you just log in with your NetID and your password. So, okay, this is perfect. I've logged in as what we call our front desk fake student. So this is a fake profile. And this is what you'll see when you log in. This will be your home page and your platform. There are some interesting things that I want to go through today, some different benefits of the system and how they will help you. So right here you'll see this is your home tab. On the home tab you'll see the number of applications that you've actually submitted, so which jobs you're looking at. You'll see the number of on-campus recruiting applications, so these are companies that are actually coming to campus to interview. And then there's these what we call favorite employers, and we'll dive deeper into that later. You'll also see that there's notifications here under your news feed that will give you jobs based on your profile and your smart searches that you do in the system. So the bridge actually works a lot like Amazon does. So when you click on a job or an info session, or when you fill out your profile and say you want to work in the Northeast, it will capture all that data and then it will render smart search results that say, these jobs apply to you by X%. And so we'll kind of offer you more guidance on what kind of career path you want to go to. So you'll see here, there's other notifications down here. These are our favorite companies. So one of the cool benefits of the bridge is that you can actually favorite companies that you want to work for. And you can do that just by going to employers right here. And you'll go to the employer directory. And then on the side here, you'll see there's a little star you can click on. And that's simply just how you favorite the company. And then whenever that company posts an info session or a new job, all of those notifications will be right on your homepage. And so you can kind of tailor those announcements to yourself. You'll also have relationship managers or career counselors that are posting announcements about workshops that they'll be holding, resume reviews, mock interviews. Those will also appear under this announcements page on the home tab, just down here. So in order to get started on the bridge as a student, you have to complete your profile 100%. So if you click on My Profile, it will actually take you to this page where you will see a percentage of how complete your profile already is. We hope that that gets to 100%. And so there are different fields you can fill out. The personal profile, which will have a lot of this data is pulled straight from the registrar's office, and so it'll be uneditable. For example, like your BYU ID, your net ID, your full name, a lot of these asterisk fields will already be completed. But you can upload a picture, a little penguin picture here for me. Put down your email address, your phone number. This will just be your basic personal profile. Now, when you go to the academic profile tab, this will actually walk you through some of what your desires are. And this is a great way for you to reach out to relationship managers and career counselors to help them see where you want to work, what kind of industry you want to be in, and what locations, so that they can target companies in those areas to hopefully find you guys a job. So you'll see here there's a little warning that if you're being redirected to this page, it simply means that you haven't filled it out 100%. So, but you can fill out your minors here, your major GPA. This cumulative GPA will come over from the registrar's office. you'll have your class standing. Then here is where you can fill out more about yourself. So the clubs that you're associated with, looks like this fake student is associated with the Humanities and Arabic Club. So that's kind of cool. The different skills that you have, so whether it's data mining, or you can speak Swahili, or whatever your skills are, you can fill that out completely. Pick the different industries that you want to work in and your geographical preferences. And like I said, this will help the system to generate smart search results that will then come back to you. So, there's also a different field here called employment. So once you do have an internship or a full-time offer, you can actually record that right here on the employment tab. So you can click on add new, and then you would simply fill out the form that says, this is where I got my offer, and this is how much they offered me, and I'll be starting on this date. And you can actually enter in different notes about your experience. So say you had an internship this past summer, and you're now just coming back to school and you want to report that. You can do it on the system, and you can add notes about the different culture of the firm that you worked at, or what kind of jobs or tasks you were given during your internship. And all of that data is then linked to, I guess, kind of like a student forum where other students can go on and kind of read your comments and see, oh, do I want to work for this company? What's the culture like? What's the interview process like? How much did they get paid? You can find out more about internships by kind of researching all of that right here on the bridge. So there's also a talent search tab. This talent search is actually your resume and your profile that you fill out here on, we call it the one-stop talent search. That will actually go to a national database for Simplicity. Simplicity is the system, or is like the company that runs the bridge for us. So the different schools across the nation actually use Simplicity as their platform for recruiting. And so your profile can go into that same bin with other students around the country. And then jobs that are posted for just general students around the country can then get connected to you as well. And employers can reach out to you by viewing your information here on the one stop. So that's kind of a cool benefit that you can use. So, another thing I wanted to touch on really quickly about the bridge is, once you've filled out your profile, before you can apply to any jobs, you'll need to have a resume uploaded. So you can do that by going to the Documents tab, and then you'll just go to the Documents, and then you'll simply just add new. It will ask you, what kinds of a document is it? Is it a resume? Is it a cover letter? Is it your transcripts? Is it a writing sample? Is it a case competition? Is it a stock pitch? Is it, what is it? And you can label that here and then just select it from your desktop, and then it'll be saved on file so that you can then upload those to whatever jobs that you apply for. You'll see here under the Resources tab that as a student on the bridge, you have different resources that will help you prepare for your interviews and for your recruiting season. One of those resources that I really like is the Career Explorer. So this Career Explorer will actually let you search by different industries, or if you click on the More options here, you can search by projected growth of a certain job. So say I'm looking for an anesthesiologist. How quickly are they growing? Or, is that a shrinking industry? Is it something that's growing really rapidly? And so you can actually find jobs that are growing at a faster than average rate, and that take maybe medium to considerable preparation or coursework, and then jobs that even have a bright outlook, or say that you want to be environmentally friendly, green jobs. So you can just search by all of these, and it will populate some results for your criteria here. And then you can actually drill down into these different jobs. So it looks like the heating and air conditioning mechanics is growing really quickly, and doesn't take too much effort to get in there, but it's a green job too. So if you wanted to find out more about these jobs, you can drill down and see how much did they make per year, what's their average wage, what kind of skills are they looking for on the job, installation skills, repairing skills. You can look at the different education that you would have to take in order to get into those jobs as well. And so this is a great place to go to do research about your career path and figure out, what do I want to do with my degree? So another cool resource that you can take advantage of to prepare is the mock interviews tab. So the mock interviews, before here at the Marriott School, we've done mock interviews kind of one-on-one through clubs or through academic advisors. There's now a new kind of platform here in the Bridge where you can hold a mock interview with yourself. So on your smartphone, you can pull this up, and as long as you have like a camera on your phone, you can actually record yourself giving the answers to the interview. Same thing on your tablets or on your laptop. As long as you have a webcam, you can record these attempts, and you can actually send them to your friends, to relationship managers, to your mentor. You can send them to your mom and dad and say, hey, how do I look in this interview? Give me some feedback. And they can actually rate your performance on a 5-star rating scale and give comments in the feedback section about things that you can improve on. So this is a great resource that you'll want to take advantage of. One thing that Mike and I discussed about was that there's a large lack of mock interviews that happen before you actually get into the real interview. And we hope that that culture kind of changes so that as students, we hop on and do a lot more mock interviews to be prepared for that real interview so we can land jobs. But there's a whole array of different majors, different career paths here that you could do. There's even a little test one here. So say you wanted to do an accounting one, you would simply click here and then it would pop up your webcam, and then it has a person that asks you the question. You have 30 seconds to prepare your answer, and then you have about a 3-minute window to provide an answer, and then it will move on to the next question. And then once it's all finished, you can just email that to yourself or to whoever that you would like. So this is a great resource. It pulls from over 10,000 different questions that are specific to each industry, and so it really is a great resource that you can take advantage of. So other things that I wanted to touch on briefly is how to search for jobs and how to search for info sessions and for your club events. So you can do all that by clicking on the Jobs tab. And then under this Jobs tab, you'll see the search is a lot like the other searches in the system, where you can do an advanced search by industry or by a certain major. But I mean, all of the jobs are right here. You can drill down and see. The cool thing is it will actually tell you if you qualify for the position or not. So right here, it looks like, because my account has been blocked because it's a fake account, that's why I can't apply. But you would see a little apply button right here, and you just click on apply and you can drop your resume straight away. And it's really simple to apply for jobs. But this will drill down into more of the details of the position. So you can also favorite jobs, just like how you can favorite employers. So you would just click the little star next to the job here, and then that would be added to my favorites list, which you can find under the Jobs tab, just under, I think they changed it. So yeah, you have your job applications, your on-campus recruiting applications. So for companies that are coming to campus, they will all be here. This I do want to show you is the recommended jobs. So I was talking about those smart search results. You'll see here, as soon as it pulls up. Oh, I have to go back. Okay, so under recommended jobs here, so that's where the favorites tab is. You'll see here there's a percentage bar, and it will actually tell you why you are a good match for that position. So for this one, it says, because I've made an application in the past based off my major and my city preference. But you can scroll through these, and it will show you, based off of your past criteria, why you're a good fit for that position. So the Bridge is a really powerful tool, and the more and more that you play around in the system and you click on jobs that you like, or info sessions, or companies, it will create those smart search results for you. So there's a few more things I just wanted to touch on really quick. So the Employers tab here, I did show you briefly. But I just wanted to show you this. If you click on the company, it'll actually take you to a tab where you can see the general overview. So a lot of times the company will have filled out their profile about, this is the kind of jobs that we have, this is our industry, these are how many kids that we've hired recently, and all of that will be here under the overview tab. So you can also find contacts to those companies, and you can favorite contacts just as you can with jobs and with companies. So say that you know a specific person, say for example in this case at 1-800-CONTACTS I know Dale. I can favorite him if he's one of my mentors or if I've been working extensively with him and I want to see all the activity that he posts in the system. You can simply click on the star here and then those notifications will also come to your home page. So if I wanted to show you the last thing here under the events tab is the info sessions. So this is how you'll find info sessions. You'll see that there's already a few companies that have signed up. So say for example I saw Squire out there today. Squire has an info session already lined up and you can simply add it to the calendar by clicking on this button here. It'll add to your Google Calendar, your iCalendar, whatever you want. The interesting thing about info sessions this year that we're changing as part of the new process and part of the new rollout of the bridge is that you now have to RSVP for any info session that you attend. And so you can do that by clicking on the RSVP button. You'll see that for some of these, if it's like a booth in the atrium or something, that RSVP has actually been disabled. But there are other companies where, and my account's blocked, so it's probably why I can't RSVP. But you'll see an RSVP button right here that you can click on, and then you can essentially just sign up for that info session. And that will do two things. One, it will help us to see who's coming to the events, and that will then go onto your profile so that when you go in to meet with a career counselor, they can pull up your profile and see all of the events that you've attended. So we can capture all that data into the system. But then two, it will also help the employers to prepare and know, generally how many students are going to be there and how many do they need to plan on for promotional items or food or whatnot. So it kind of has a twofold purpose there. So, this is the bridge, and I would just highly encourage all of you to hop on, log on, fill out your profiles, and start getting acquainted with this system. There's different tabs here that we didn't have time to talk about today, like the networking tab. That's a way that you can reach out to alumni and that you can connect with them and get advice from them as a career mentor. There's the interview tab that will show you the interviews you've signed up for. And then of course there's this calendar tab. So you'll want to go through and kind of spend some time in the bridge really understanding it before the recruiting season falls upon us. So yeah, question?
Is there an option for employers looking for employees on the bridge?
Employers looking for employees. Yeah, so a company has its own profile, which looks a lot like your student profile, and they can search through resume books. One thing I did want to mention is that a company does not see your profile. So all that information pulled from the registered office, say I have like a 2.0, and I didn't want companies to see that, they won't have any access to your profile. The only window they can see into your personal profile is through your resume and in the resume books. And so you kind of get to manage and market your own campaign for your recruiting season that way. So, but yeah, companies can do searches for students through the resume books to find students that they would like to hire or reach out to. So. Any other questions today? All right. One last thing is that if you do want to schedule an appointment with any of the relationship managers, you can do so on the bridge. And you just go right here to the counseling appointments. And you'll actually just request a new appointment, and then you can go through and search for whichever times you're available or what type of an appointment you'd like to do. So is it an interview, like mock interview? Is it a resume review? Is it about job placement and internships? So you can choose that here. You'll choose your date range and what times you're available. And then the list of different counselors that are available will appear. And you can click on one of these and just sign up for an appointment. So you no longer need to come to the Business Career Center to set that up. You can do it on your own. But that is still an option that you can come and set those up through our center up on the fourth floor. So
get out there and start playing with it, and then we can just jointly use that as a basis for starting some discussion.
All right, thanks for Robert. So do get on the bridge and get pretty familiar with the bridge itself, because the bridge is where a lot of the things we have in this class. So as you know, this is just a half-credit class, but it is important that you not only attend, but do the assignments as well. Attendance to all sessions and the assignments are required for this class. And with attendance to all sessions, that means that if you do have to miss a session, there is makeup available. So either watch the recording, which will be for most of the sessions, so you'll be able to watch the recording and do a write-up on that. Or if there's no recording for that session, we have breakouts or something else, then you'll talk to your career advisor about that, and they can tell you how to help make up the session. So I'm going to go over a couple things real quick before I get into the mentor program. And then quickly take a look at Learning Suite. So we will be using Learning Suite so as most of you probably know, you should be enrolled in both Business Management 320 and Business Management 321. 320 is the career preparation, 321 is the mentor program. You will see on Learning Suite, you will see a Learning Suite for 320, but you will not see a Learning Suite for 321. And so here's the Learning Suite for 320. And it's pretty straightforward. You'll see a schedule on here. On your content, you can see your syllabus. Please review the syllabus and just so you know what to expect. You can see all the course information, purposes of the course, some learning outcomes, our attendance policy, grading policy. Here's your assignments. You'll see the assignments here on the right-hand side of the schedule. And the schedule will walk you through kind of what's going to be going on in class that day. You'll see on October 2nd, we're just going to attend the University Career Fair, so that'll be a little different. And we'll have some breakout sessions later on, especially here near the end. We've got these emphasis sessions. And so if you miss one of those, of course, you'll have to talk to your career advisor and see what they want you to do to make that up. You'll also see that here we've got our exams. The exams aren't real exams here, not real quizzes. Basically, this is just verifying that you've completed these assignments. Some of these assignments we will be checking. We'll be going into the bridge and make sure you've uploaded your resume because your career advisor wants to see that. And we want to be able to give feedback on these things. But in general, this class really is to help you prepare for a career. And so the things that we're assigning are really things to just help you out, things that will get you on a track, that will lead you to getting placed with a company, getting on a career you want to have. So some of these things, you're just going to go on here and you're just going to click on that quiz when it's available, and you'll say, I've completed this assignment, and then we'll just leave it at that, basically. So that's what every week you want to check there for the assignments. Usually you have one every week. So just check the exams page for those assignments and just verify that you've completed those. And then, of course, we also do have access to Bridge. So a lot of these, actually most, I'd say, of these assignments you'll be uploading to Bridge. So be familiar with Bridge, get familiar with it. Your resume, like Robert was saying, you can't actually search for jobs without a resume on Bridge, but we will be going over resume as well and actually refining your resume. So you can upload what you have right now, but in a couple of weeks you'll upload a revised resume to Bridge as well. Okay, so any questions on kind of the logistics of Learning Suite so far? All right, it's pretty straightforward. What else? The other thing we have is the mentor program. So this was developed by Robert Gardner, this slideshow, so I left his name on there. But my name is John Collier. I'm a TA for the course, and you can contact me with any of the questions. You see my information on Learning Suite. And you can contact me with questions about logistics, mentor program, anything like that. So real quick, the purposes of the mentor program. Sorry, this is the outline. We're going to talk quickly about the purposes. We don't have much time, do we? So we'll actually briefly talk about these things, but basically I want to give you an idea of what to expect with this mentor program. So the purpose is to interact with business professionals. This is a great resource for you to be able to interact with these people and hear their experiences and to refine your job seeking skills. Like some students were saying here, as far as learning about a possible career, it's been the most informative class I've had so far. So it's a really good introduction to what you want to pursue. Personally, I found a mentor that was really involved in something I was interested in, and he was able to kind of guide me through how he got there and the path he took and how other people might have gotten that path as well. So it was really valuable for me as well. So, mentor testimonials, this top one is it's a negative one. It's basically a mentor that didn't actually talk very often to his student, but his student filled out all these responses, and he's like, I don't know which mentor he talked to, but that wasn't me. So, these mentors know that, it's their time. Just make sure you value their time. But again, like the second one there, the mentors really enjoy this. They really are impressed with the students. Like it ends, she will be successful in whatever path she chooses. So these mentors really enjoy this. They put themselves out there and take advantage of this and just respect the time they've given to you. So register again for 321. If you're not registered for both classes, make sure you are. And just complete the assignments. They're up on the mentor page. So you can see on that mentor page, but you'll see some kind of information. We don't have time to show any of this right now, but make sure you watch the deadlines, develop a relationship with your mentor, and of course, start today. So again, questions, go to me, mentor@byu.edu is one way to reach me. So I also real quick want to show you that site, mentor site. So you can go to it through the Marriott School homepage, marriottschool.byu.edu. That's one way to get to it. And you go students, and then mentor program. And then as you log in, basically this page here, I showed you the Business Management 320 page as your learning suite. But this page here is basically your learning suite for the mentor program. So you'll see your syllabus up here, you'll see some FAQ, you'll see all your deadlines right here. This class is this half of the class is very much on your own. You can feel free to contact me with any questions, but it's really kind of up to you. So I won't be, none of the instructors will be working too much. It's really up to you to contact your mentor and make the most that you can out of this experience. The last thing I'm going to mention is you will want to see here, you'll have a mentor search. My page looks a little different than yours will. But you'll have a mentor search here, and you can look up the degrees, the city, state, the employer, first name, last name. You can look up pretty much all of that information for those mentors, and you can find one that fits well for you. One of the things I also want to mention, when you do make contact with the mentor, you want to have a back and forth interaction with them. So ideally it would be, if you can, if they're around here in Provost, then you can do a face-to-face interview. In most cases it will be a phone interview. But you want to have back and forth interaction. If you can only do email, you want to at least have a few emails back and forth to each other, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of an interest in the mentor program. We don't have much more time than that. So I'll give it back to Mike.
Well, hopefully you got a feel for some of the tools and some of the processes that we're going to be using to help you. Again, I just encourage you, take advantage of the center, get in there, meet your, we refer to them in the center as relationship managers, but meet them and start that process. And again, we're here to help you guys, so make sure you use us. Okay? Thanks.